See that little jump there? We got 9 miles per hour out of that. Alright, got my trim adjusted. Full throttle. Alright, we got 42. Alright, we're gonna go all the way to the end here. She definitely wants to kick sideways on me. Alright, so we're getting 44. Alright, so we got 44 miles per hour. Not too bad. We're definitely going to have to change some gearing in it and get bigger batteries. I think we can do a lot better than that. Alright, so you want to make sure you put some Loctite on this pinion gear. There's a grub screw that holds the gear on. This should have a new one in it. Yeah, right there's your grub screw. And I just want to compare these two gears. The 25 tooth is a lot wider. I'd say by at least 2-3 millimeters. And it is considerably bigger. So the gear on the motor is going to be bigger. And the gear next to it, which is the spur gear, is going to be smaller. So theoretically, that should give us more top end acceleration and less bottom end torque. The smaller the gear you put on the motor and the bigger the spur gear, the more low end torque you're going to have. The smaller the gear on the motor, the more torque. The higher the gear, the bigger the gear on the motor, more top end speed you're going to have. So let's get this get my blue Loctite out and just put a little bit of Loctite on this grub screw. Get that ready. You're going to put the screw in, snug it up, not completely tight, just snug it up, and then you'll slide it back and you'll feel that screw stop. That screw will stop right where that keyway stops. And I'm going to leave that a little bit loose for right now until I get the other gear in the truck, just to make sure everything lines up properly. Alright, so this is a 46 tooth Hot Racing Mod 1 spur gear. Should give a little bit more life into this Max. Now you see the size difference in the spur gears. This gear is considerably smaller than the stock 50 tooth spur gear, but the pinion gear is considerably bigger than the stock pinion gear. So get this fitted on. Now you don't need Loctite with this because the screws are going into plastic, so don't want to put Loctite in plastic. And one rule of thumb for me, I never start the screws with a drill. If you take it to screw, if I can keep it in the hole, if you take this screw and twist it reverse, a little bit, you'll feel it drop into place. Once it drops into place, you know it's going to thread up properly, and then you can roll right with it. That's one little trick you can do to make sure it's not going to cross thread. And I use this to get them 90% of the way tightened, and then I'll use my hand tool to finish the job, because you will strip out plastic with a power tool very quickly. I believe it's on right. We'll see how it lines up. We'll get it in the car. There we go. Now there's a Traxxas uses a pinning system for the stock gearing. It says 23 tooth pinion gear with a 52 spur. You drop the pin in to hold D. Well, if you go in the chart in the owner's manual with the 46 tooth spur gear and the 25 tooth pinion gear, you want to drop the pole in the slot B. So that should give us the correct mesh. And I always hate doing this because it's hard to tell where you're lining it up at. It's not, sometimes I'll put a little notch right here on the side, right there. You know, just line that up. Slot B. All right. Now I'm not gonna make you guys sit through all this, so we're gonna get it buttoned back up and take it out and give it a test run. Yeah, she just doesn't want to stay straight. I get on the power and it just kicks sideways. Let's see what we're working with on the speed. I don't know if it's the sand or the C32. That's not accurate because I had it up to 46 mile an hour pegged in my work parking lot. It definitely feels like it's faster because I can't control it. I can't control it as good as I was. See, I get the power on it and it wants to turn to the left. I don't understand that. Let me trim it. Let me turn TSM up, see if that helps. I need to find out why I'm not turning so easily to the right. See, the left hand turns very, very nice. Right hand turns not so much. Let's see what's going on with that. See if I can see anything. I might have to recenter that servo a little bit more. I think. I don't know. Servo's pretty fast though. We're on Amazon servo. Because it just, I don't know if it squats, it doesn't have enough. It's sitting up too high, I think. Yeah, as you guys can see, it's wanting to ice skate all over the place with the tires. They're pizza cutting, and it's ice skating all over the place. The gearing is not set up in this app. This is a Traxxas app. It says I'm only doing 34 miles an hour. I've had this truck up to 46 on the stock gearing. I do have a 46 tooth spur gear and a 25 tooth pinion, which is recommended by Traxxas to reach 60 miles an hour. Stay tuned. In this video we're going to have the GNSS analyzer, and we're going to get a real accurate determination of the speed. So we're going to go get that analyzer and then we'll be back. Alright guys, welcome back. We are back in the studio, in the shop should I say. We got the SKYRC GNSS performance analyzer, and we're going to do a real speed run on this thing. I did take off the shock mounts. These shock extenders. They give the truck a little bit more of a lift. Good for jumping, but horrible for speed running it. I don't know if you guys seen, but the truck was walking all over the place like it was on ice skates. So we took those off. She's got a lot more lower stance, more factory stance. I do have stiffer springs on the back, but that's other than that, the suspension is pretty much stock. The truck is pretty much all stock, as you've seen. But yeah, we're gonna take this out and give it a run. Let's open it up and see what comes in the box. All right, so we got some instructions, and it's just a little module that you mount on the truck. You download the app, do your speed run, and from what I've seen, you should be able to check the app on the phone. And I did print up some little holders for it. A lot of people just zip tie it to the truck. I got this mount here that I'm going to put it in. And I guess it's supposed to go like this because of the hole for the charging port. It's going to be a snug fit, which is good. Sits in there nicely. And I've already checked. It's not going to... Well, we'll try not to ride a wheelie too high. But I think for right now, just to get this speed run down and to test it out, that'll do okay. So we're going to go find a spot. I got a little spot picked out that we're going to do the speed run at. So stay tuned, and we're going to see just how fast this truck goes. We do have the 46 tooth spur gear and a 25 tooth pinion gear. So we got the Traxxas recommended gearing to hit 60 miles an hour. So theoretically, the truck should hit 60 miles an hour. I've had it up to 46 through the app on the phone, which goes off of the motor RPM, which I don't think is very accurate. So we're going to do a test run on the aftermarket gears first, and then we'll do a test run on the complete stock setup. So stay tuned, and hopefully we can hit that 60 mile an hour mark that Traxxas claims. I did set it up, make sure it was working before I left the house, so we should be all right to get started. I'm not sure exactly how this thing works, so we're going to do a little test runs here, a couple test runs, and then see if it's working, make sure it's working, and then we'll do a couple speed runs. I think we're going to put in the old trusted Traxxas 6700 milliamp hour battery, just for maximum performance. The Ovonics batteries are nice, but they don't compare to the stock Traxxas batteries. Traxxas batteries are expensive, but they are pretty good batteries. I do give them that. They might not have the highest C rating, but they get a hell of a long run time. So we'll get that strapped in there. I do got the M2C, the battery tray mount, so I can mount pretty much any battery in this car that I want. I'm running the XT90 plug. So yeah, any new batteries I can get for any vehicles, all I gotta do is solder on those plugs and we're good to go. XT90 plugs are pretty easy to come by, so shouldn't have any issues getting plugs for new batteries. You do got to be careful soldering batteries, but if you're careful and you pay attention, you should be all right. All right, so let me turn the controller on. Let's tighten the battery up, make sure it's good and snug. Let's see. As you see it, them tires pizza cut out, man. It's like you're riding on roller skates. So let's see what we got. Come on, reread. 52 miles an hour. I don't know. Seems a little slow. All right, that's the fastest I've seen. All right, let's start it again. Got to beat 52 miles an hour. I tell you, it just wants to slide all over the place. Not the best tires to do speed runs on. Definitely not. Full throttle. All right, let's bring it back and see what we got on the meter. Tell you, it just wants to skate all over the place. What do we got? Let's read. 52 miles an hour. Average speed 22 miles an hour. Okay. 3/4 throttle. Full throttle. See, she's still ripping up whenever I give it full throttle. But I got to ease into it because whenever I get on it, the tires expand out. About half throttle, 3/4 throttle, full throttle, full throttle. Woo-hoo-hoo. I tell you, it's hard to control. Let's see what we got. It don't sound happy, I know that. 53 miles per hour. Not quite the 60 that Traxxas recommends, but I don't think that's the car because when I let off of it, the motor is still winding out. So it's close. 53 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. Let's check the tires. Let's check the motor for one. See how hot the motor is. It's a little bit warm, but not bad at all. Let me check the Traxxas app. Dashboard. Motor temp 108 degrees. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Both fans are working. So you seen we had a little accident with the Max. Got a little squirrely. I hit the ice/snow on the side there, and it just doesn't sound like it liked it too much. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the rest of this video. I appreciate you watching, and we'll be back with a damage report and see what we broke. But this truck isn't really made for speed running, but it's what I got right now, and I have fun doing it. It's cold out, it's snowy, it's wet. I mean, there's really nowhere else to run besides on plowed flat surfaces. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Spring's coming. It's getting ready to thaw out here in the next couple weeks, and we're going to be doing some real interesting stuff. So stay tuned to the channel, and if you guys like this kind of content, subscribe so you get notified of future videos. And if you could hit the like button on your way out, I really appreciate it. It helps out my tiny channel, and and gets it out to the algorithm. But I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one.